Hey everybody, this is one of the book club videos that is not being recorded at my work. I'm actually at home with my lovely bride. You probably recognize her, but we are talking through From Debtor to Better, the details of debt and how to get out. And the reason I did this video from home today rather than yesterday was today we are talking about, if you've read the title, relationships and money, or marriage and money, or the idea of what it means to deal with your spouse and money. Because guess what? Divorce rates are awful. Divorce rates are staggering. People get divorced all the time. And guess what the number one reason for divorce in America happens to be?
I know, pick me.
Okay, Stacy.
Money.
That would
Oh,
be
no,
correct.
wait, sex.
No,
wait, is that number 2?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Money is the answer. Money and fights about money is the number one reason that is cited for bankruptcy, that's for divorce, which is, I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, divorce in America. So that is a really important topic, and that's why we're going to talk about it here and why I thought Stacy should be along with me. So even though we are going to sort of stick to the book, I wanted her here to add any points that she may want to add. And otherwise, she's just going to look beautiful like Vanna White, and it's going to be wonderful. And
Hey, Jennifer.
anyway, so here's a few points. Now, if you have my book, then a lot of this is straight out of the chapter. It's a really, really important chapter, and maybe one of the most important, because even though up to this point we've talked about things like, hey, do a budget, hey, make sure that you have dreams for your money and you have a plan for your money and all that kind of stuff, if you and your spouse are not on the same page about money, this is not going to work. And in fact, I have a section in my book specifically titled, It Won't Work If You Don't Agree. So, one of the most important things that you can do with your spouse when it comes to money is agree. Even if you're both terrible, terrible, terrible with money, you need to agree on what your plan with money is. If you'll agree and you mess up, then the two of you together can say, that was not good. We need to make an adjustment.
Instead of, you big idiot.
Exactly.
Look what you did.
Yeah, there's finger pointing that happens.
Yep.
And fighting that happens when you don't agree about money. So agree. That's the most critical thing that I want you to take away today is agree about money. Now, if you've been keeping up with us thus far, this is video 9, so if you've been keeping up with us thus far, what I have given you for the last 2 videos as your homework is to work on your budget. This should not be an individual activity if you are married. You should be doing this with your spouse. So, if that you are married, you should be doing this with your spouse. Hint, hint, wink, wink. All right? So, first, remember, it won't work if you don't agree. The second thing I want to address here is his money and her money. Okay, when you walk down the aisle, and got to stand next to me, and we were in the front of the pastor, he said all this stuff, and the two shall become one. Well, that wasn't just talking about sex. That wasn't just talking about some of the stuff. It means all of the things.
What's
the two
mine
shall
is
become
yours,
one.
and what's yours is mine.
That's what the saying sort of is supposed to go like, although it normally is my stuff, her stuff. And
Get out my stuff.
Exactly. So when it comes to money, no, you should not have separate accounts. No, you should not have his money and her money. No, you should not be doing this separately.
That makes a lot of people mad.
It sure does make a lot of people mad. And yet, every time that I give a couple coaching on this matter and they're doing their finances separately and they're not real happy about it, I'm not changing my stance there. Because if it's my money and her money, then I do what I want with my money, she does what she wants with her money, and then guess what? If we disagree about money, then what? Well, we're two separate people, and it creates this big divide, this big rift in the middle. What happens if something big occurs financially? Do you have to go say, honey, I need to borrow some money from you? What? And yet I know that's how it works. I know that's how it works with a lot of couples. So
I'll make you work for it.
exactly. You better earn that. No, the two shall become one. It doesn't matter who earns more. It doesn't matter who works more outside the home. It doesn't matter. The two shall become one. It is your money as a couple. That is a very important point. Now, I'll even give you a little story here because I think it's important. When we first got married, Stacy worked for a little while, and then even before we had kids, she stayed at home. She didn't really earn a significant income staying at home at that point. So guess what? All the money that came in really was my money, if you want to look at it that way. But did I say, honey, do you need to borrow some money? No.
No.
That just sounds ludicrous to me. So now, guess what? With the things that we're doing with Young Living, the things that we do with humorous homemaking, and the various sources of income that we have, she out-earns me. Like big time.
What? Holla!
And see, she could rub that in my face, but instead, guess what? We do those things together. I work, she works, we both have roles. Now, even if she didn't do humorous homemaking and Young Living and all that kind of stuff, we have 4 kids. Do you think that she is worth some money, that she earns some money even though she doesn't bring home a paycheck from that activity? Absolutely. So again, this whole idea of his money, her money, that doesn't work, okay? That does not work. If you're doing it, stop. His money, her money, no. All right, next, and this is very much in line with that. Money is a tool. I've said this many different times in many different ways, that it's an excellent servant, it's a terrible master. Money is an excellent servant, it's a terrible master. You can't use money as a weapon against your spouse. You can't go in and say, well, I earned all the money, you screwed this up. No, remember this whole thing? You have to agree, and there's no his money, her money. Just in line with all of that, you cannot use money as a weapon against your spouse. It has to be a tool to succeed and to talk about communication.
Like a hoe. A tool like a hoe.
We probably ought to clarify like a hoe. But anyway, yes. All right. So, money, no, Kathy, money is not the root of all evil.
The love of
money is the root of all evil. We got to
get
that right.
Money in the hands of good people does amazing things. Do you know people who have money can give to people who need it, to causes, to build orphanages, to have clean water, to help people who are trying to have adoptions and all sorts of things. Money is an amazing, amazing tool.
So be careful. Money is not evil. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, is the way that verse goes. Anyway, moving on. So money is a tool, not a weapon. Use it as a tool to foster communication, to foster your dreams and goals together and work through those. Because if you think about it, it's a very tangible way that you can show that you succeeded with something as a couple.
Do you want to show them the vision board around you? I mean,
sure, you can go get it if you want.
No,
okay.
They can see it.
I don't know if you can see that or not. But like right back there.
In the fireplace, which doesn't work for the regular.
Yeah, we don't have it actually as a fireplace. Is our vision board. That's all that
family.
Stuff costs a lot of money. That's the stuff we're trying to accomplish. And guess what? It's all expensive stuff. All right? It's all expensive stuff. So we need money to make those things happen, and yet that's our vision together as a family. Moving on so we don't run out of time. Nerds versus free spirits. Now, if you've done anything with Dave Ramsey, if you've been through Financial Peace University or anything of that nature, you know this topic is something that he discusses. The idea of somebody who really is all a big nerd with money and is really in control and always very organized and all that. And then you have the free spirit who's like, woo, money, don't care, leave me alone, don't care, I just want to go have fun and pretty, and that's sort of the extremes. Well, and there's a little bit of that in each of us individually, but you usually lean toward one or the other, and sometimes really hard. We both happen to sort of be nerds, and then in a few categories we're also free spirits, because we're like, hey, I want this thing, and we,
so we have some
balance,
yeah.
Okay? And that's actually the last point, and I want to lead into that is balance. You must find balance in your relationship in everything. But when it comes to money, you've got to find the balance of, hey, what is it okay that we agree on that he or she can do that is all right with money? And then what are the boundaries that we need to not cross? So, great example here is people, when I talk about his money and her money, are like, well, but there's things that I want to do that he doesn't care about. Okay, as a part of your budget, agree on an amount that each of you gets as play money.
Yeah, it's called, well, some people call it mad money.
Yeah, just put that in your budget and say, agree that $20, $100, $1,000
this month is yours,
whatever.
And you can do whatever the heck you want with it.
And it all depends on how much income you have and what your budget looks like as to what that number is. It could be $5, it could be $5,000 a month. It doesn't matter. It's just that the two of you have agreed that this is the way that your finances are going to work. So then if I want to go buy something, I don't have to say, hey, honey, I really want to go buy it. No. That's not the way that works either. So you can have money that your spouse does not, quote unquote, control, but you've agreed that it is money for me to play with or her to play with in that respect. So that's a good way to set balance in your finances as a couple, and it also sets the right boundaries. So if there's a large purchase that needs to be made, we're going to talk about it, and we have to agree, well, is it anything over $100 or is it anything over $10,000? Any of those kinds of scenarios. So don't use it as a weapon, it's a tool. Make sure that you understand that people are wired differently. Some people are nerds and some are free spirits, and all that ties together by finding balance and boundaries in your marriage when it comes to money. So have the discussions, and that takes us to our homework. Our homework is, you need to schedule a date night, okay? And this is not the normal date night where you get the babysitter, you go out to a nice dinner, and you go see a movie or whatever. Now, for us, that's not a normal date night anyway.
We usually go to the grocery store.
Very romantic.
Yeah, that's
very romantic. But it's awesome. Think about it. With 4 kids, it's awesome
like,
to go to the grocery store without
look,
kids.
We're here and together in the grocery.
Oh,
it's so beautiful.
I love you.
I know. Here's some granola.
Right? Exactly. But here's what I want. Here is your topic for your date night. I want you to have a date night first off. Schedule it. Make sure if there's childcare needed that you get that covered. Schedule a date night. It is a non-negotiable. And here is your assignment. I hate to say that with a date, but it's a date with an assignment. Talk about money. Now, there are some rules. Number first.
No. Number
Number one.
Number A.
Yes. Followed by number C. That's exactly how that works. Anyway, first, talk about money and talk about your dreams with money. The vision board that you see back there, that vision board is the result of us dreaming together about money. What is it that we want to accomplish with our money? What is it that we want to accomplish that costs money? And here is a big caveat. No poo-pooing on your spouse's dream, okay? No pooping on their dreams.
Okay, just an insert here. I am the dreamer, and he can tend to be the poo-pooer.
I'm the pooper. Yep.
So we have to work through that sometimes. So
Yep.
we're not any better than anybody else.
Absolutely not.
That's how it is in this house.
So I'm a dreamer in some respects, but she's the bigger dreamer, and I'm the one who's like, well, you know the math that is required to make that work? I'm the one who normally poops on it. So anyway, talk about money, talk about your dreams. Second, talk about your fears with money, because we all have them. Like, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do this, or here this bill is out there that just constantly scares me, or there's this credit card debt that we haven't paid in 8 years, and I'm just curious when the collections people are going to start calling again. Whatever those cases are, sit down and openly communicate. What is the goal? What is the primary goal of all those discussions? It is to get on the same page about money, to agree. Because as much as it takes for you to discuss about money until you agree, that's the discussion you need to have. There's no rule other than you have to agree. And if you make a bad decision together, like I said early on, you've made a bad decision together, not separately. There's no finger pointing that can be had, okay?
I was just giving an example.
Yeah, so finger pointing. Anyway, there's your homework. It's pretty simple. When it comes to relationships and money, take it very seriously. If you stood in front of God and everyone and said, I love this person, I want to give them all of me and all of my stuff, and till death do us part, your money is part of that. And don't forget it. Don't act like it's anything different than anything else. Your money with your spouse matters. So, there you go. There's your video for today. I'll be back with you next week, probably minus Stacy, when we'll jump into another fun topic.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll include her in another one.
That's okay.
See,
I can do my own
surprise.
videos.
That's true.
He
So,
can do his, I'll do mine.
Happy Saturday to you. Thanks a lot for being here. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Can we get the thing to stop?
No, you gotta pull it up and
Stop.